Hi everyone, welcome back to Easy Learning with Teacher Roses, your fun and simple way to learn. Today's lesson is from English 6, Quarter 2 Explore Significant Information, Module 1 Lesson 3, Identifying the Purpose and the Structural and Language Features of Various Types of Informational, Factual Text. Are you ready to learn? Let's get started. Before we start, let's take a look at our objectives for today's lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the purpose and the structural and language features of informational, factual text. What's in? Unscramble the letters in items 1 to 8 to form meaningful words and phrases by filling in the boxes. Then, answer questions in items 9 and 10. Here are the correct answers. 1. Informal text. 2. Structure. 3. Nonfiction. 4. Description. 5. Sequence. 6. Cause and effect. 7. Comparison and contrast. 8. Problem and solution. 9. Yes. Number 10. Answers may vary. Now, let's explore what's new. Read the news article. That is a news article, and like many news stories, it is an example of an informational or factual text. These types of texts are important because they give true and reliable information about real events, people, or ideas. There are different types of informational and nonfiction texts. Let's get to know them. The literary nonfiction type usually gives accurate information and defines clearly the beginning, middle and the end. It is written in story form and gives facts like personal essays, opinion pieces, speeches, literature essays and journalism. Expository texts. The expository texts are written to explain or describe. They are usually labeled and have detailed diagrams that help the readers understand the concept better. This type utilizes different text structures like description, cause and effect, comparison and contrast, temporal sequence, and problem and solution. There are 5 common text structures used in informational and nonfiction texts. 1. Description is a text structure that describes something. It starts with an introduction and provides descriptions of the subject, idea, or character in the text. It makes use of vivid words. 2. Sequence is a text structure that covers few purposes such as sequential instructions, chronological events, and arguments that use evidences to support a claim. 3. Cause and effect is a text structure that explains why an action happened and provides the result of that action. This structure becomes complex when the effect has multiple causes or vice versa. This is usually encountered in historical texts. 4. Compare and contrast is a text structure that involves a comparison of 2 or more persons, animals, things, or concepts, revealing how they are similar and how they are different. Historical texts. 5. Problem and solution is a text structure that involves 2 parts. The author identifies a problem and details a solution. As a learner, you must learn to distinguish these 5 text structures and study their components to fully understand and analyze informational texts, whether they are reading textbooks, news articles, or literary nonfiction. Patterns of text structure in informational texts. Text pattern. Description uses language to help the reader form images or visualize processes. Keywords, descriptive details, words like on, over, beyond. Example: my niece is adorable, witty, and playful. She loves to play with her toys. She is curious to know how her toy cart moves, so she tries to dismantle the parts and assemble them again. Maybe in the future, she would want to become a successful engineer or a scientist. Text pattern, temporal sequence. Definition: present ideas or events in the order in which they happen. Keywords first, second, then, finally, before, after, next, earlier, later, last, eventually, meanwhile, while. Example: My uncle, Zyrel, was born in Roxas City in 1963. He was the youngest son of the family. First, he graduated from elementary in 1975. Next, he graduated from high school in 1979. Then, he got married. 3 years later, he took an engineering course. Now, he is a successful engineer. Text pattern. Cause and effect. Definition. Provide explanations or reasons for an action or a phenomenon. Keywords because, since, thus, so that, if, then, therefore, nevertheless, due to, this led to, as a result, then, so, for this reason, on account of, consequently. Example. Every morning, before Kim goes to work, she sees to it that she waters her gumamela plant. As a result, the plant blooms and grows healthy. Her neighbors love watching the growing plants. Text pattern. Comparison and contrast. Definition. Discuss two ideas, events, or phenomena, showing how they are similar and different. Keywords while, yet, but, rather, most, either, like and unlike, same, as opposed to, as well as, likewise, on the other hand, although, the same, similarly, opposites. Example. I can tell about the favorite food of my friends, Anna and May. Based on my observations, Anna loves to eat pasta and meat. However, May prefers rice and vegetables. For dessert, both of them seem to like black sambo. Text type. Problem and solution. Definition. Identify problems and pose solutions. Keywords propose, conclude, a solution, the problem or the solution, research shows, the evidence is, a reason for. Example. Bullying is one of the reasons why children don't want to go to school. Our school proposes more values formation activities and advocacy campaigns as solutions to address the said problem. What's more, read each sentence and identify what informational text structure is being presented. Let's check your answers. 1. The learners go to school because they want to learn. They love to listen to their teachers. They are happy to play and talk to their classmates and schoolmates. A. Cause and effect. B. Compare and contrast. C. Problem and solution. Answer. A. Cause and effect. 2. COVID-19 is a very hazardous disease that easily transmits from one person to another through coughing, sneezing, or simply just opening one's mouth. A. Description. B. Problem and solution. C. Cause and effect. Answer. A. Description. 3. The government is taking measures to prevent the rapid increase of early pregnancies. Teenagers should be guided properly and should be made aware of the consequences and harmful effects of getting pregnant at an early age. A. Sequence. B. Problem and solution. C. Compare and contrast. 4. First, the boy went to the market to buy vegetables, then, he stopped at the restaurant, and finally, he walked home. A. Sequence. B. Problem and solution. C. Description. Answer. A sequence. 5. The women living in the village don't cut their hair as a symbol of femininity and loyalty. Their children also have the same length of hair but of different colors. A. Cause and effect. B. Problem and solution. C. Compare and contrast. Answer. C. Compare and contrast. What I have learned. Fill in the blanks with the missing words. Here are the correct answers. Expository texts are written to explain or describe. They are usually labeled and have detailed diagrams that help the readers understand the concept better. Informational text has structures. They are: description describes something. It starts with an introduction and provides descriptions of the subject, idea, or character in the text. Sequence covers few purposes such as sequential instructions, chronological events, and arguments. Cause and effect explains the reasons and results. Comparison and contrast involves a comparison of multiple things, revealing how similar and how different they are. Problem and solution involves two parts. The author identifies problems and details solutions to the problems. What I can do. Write your own informational text based on the given structure and topic. Here are sample answers. Use them as a guide and make your own paragraph. 1. Description. My friend. My friend is kind and helpful. She always listens when I have problems and gives me good advice. We like to play games and study together after school. She makes me laugh when I am sad. I am thankful to have a friend like her because she makes my life happier. 2. Sequence how to cook rice. First, wash the rice to remove dirt. Next, put the rice in a pot and add the right amount of water. Then, place the pot on the stove and turn on the heat. After that, let the rice boil, then lower the heat to cook it slowly. Finally, turn off the stove when the rice is soft and fluffy. 3. Cause and effect. Stormy day. It rained very hard, and strong winds blew all day. Because of the storm, many trees fell on the roads. As a result, some streets were flooded, and classes were cancelled. People stayed at home to stay safe until the storm passed. 4. Compare and contrast guava and mango. Guava and mango are both delicious fruits that many people love to eat. They are similar because they are sweet and full of vitamins. However, guava has small seeds inside, while mango has one big seed. Mango is usually softer and juicier, while guava is firmer and has a rough skin. 5. Problem and solution. COVID-19. COVID-19 spread quickly and made many people sick. This became a big problem for communities around the world. To solve this, people wore face masks, washed their hands often, and stayed at home to avoid the virus. Vaccines were also made to protect people and help stop the spread of the disease. Assessment. Identify the structure of each informational text below. Here are the correct answers. 1. A habitat is a place where organisms live. A pond is an example of a habitat. It provides the living organisms with their needs in order to live and grow. Answer. Description. 2. William and Andrew are twins. They both like to swim and both are excellent swimmers. William prefers to swim in the beach while Andrew likes to swim in the pool. Answer. Compare and contrast. 3. El Niño is a phenomenon that brings heavy rains. As a result, it can affect the growth of crops and can create problem in food storage. Answer. Cause and effect. 4. The man wanted to reach the top of the mountain and so, he decided to explore it with other travelers. Answer. Problem and solution. 5. The policeman is on duty. To prepare himself, he does the following. First, he takes a bath. Second, he wears his uniform. Third, he eats his breakfast. And finally, he sanitizes himself. Answer. Sequence. Additional activities. Read the paragraph. Then, look for the sample for each text structure inside the box. Here are the correct answers. 1. Description. Exercise is a good bodily exertion for developing and maintaining physical fitness and vigor. 2. Sequence. In doing training exercises, you have to follow these steps. First, warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. Second, start with slow movements. And finally, perform your full body routine. 3. Cause and effect. Others directly go exercising without doing a warm-up. As a result, they get injured or suffer from cold muscles. 4. Compare and contrast. Dancing and jogging are both forms of exercise, but their effects on agility and endurance are different. 5. Problem and solution. Many people suffer from illnesses. Exercising is one of the best things to do to protect yourself from getting ill. Great job, everyone. You've just finished our lesson for today. I hope you learned something new. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'll get updated when I post my next videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.